My name is Elizabeth Hogue, and this is my presentation for professional communications. Throughout this entire class, we've been talking about the rules of communication. However, in reality, not everyone is able to follow these rules of communication, and today I'll be discussing speech disorders and speaking out about speech disorders. So, with individuals who have speech disorders, is communication broken? The answer is no. However, it is important to help these individuals to succeed. Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "Speech is power, speech is to persuade, to convert, to compel." Speech plays a large role in our everyday lives. It is how we communicate with one another. The inability to properly communicate can be a large determinant in a person's life. So what is a speech disorder? A speech disorder is characterized as the inability for a person to produce speech sounds correctly or fluently, or has problems with his or her own voice. This could include difficulties pronouncing sounds, articulation disorders, or stuttering. Many students, as well as adults, have different speech disorders. Due to the wide variety of speech problems a person could have, speech disorders are classified into 4 groups. Fluency disorders are characterized by obvious interruptions within the flow of speech, causing disruptions in rate, rhythm, repetition in sounds, syllables, words, and phrases. Motor speech disorders are often a result from damage to the central or nervous system, causing impairments in speech. Voice disorders are characterized by irregular vocal traits such as loudness, resonance, pitch, and duration, depending on the age of the individual. Language disorders are characterized by impaired comprehension of the spoken, written, or any symbolic language. Early signs of speech disorders can be detected by parents and teachers alike. Different signs include that a child is not speaking normally, the child's speech is seriously deficient, the speech is completely absent, and speech is severely unclear. For all you parents out there, it is important to remember that if you see a speech problem with your child, you need to notify your doctor immediately. What can help and what should parents do? Once again, if parents see any of the signs that we just discussed in their child, they should contact their pediatrician and discuss the possibility of consulting a speech and language pathologist. So what is a speech and language pathologist? This person will directly observe the child and then diagnose based on an exam of speech and oral mechanisms. Many people think that education must be affected if a child cannot communicate. However, that is not true. As long as their education is done right, it is not affected. Children will be given an IEP, which stands for Individualized Education Plan. The IEP sets a child up with any possible assistance that they may need throughout their education and in life. A child may be removed from classroom periodically to work with a speech therapist who will help them with anything that they need. Different tips for teachers can help teachers who have students with speech impediments in their classroom. The many tips include accepting the disability, asking students when they feel they will need assistance, and discuss functional difficulties and needs early on so the student is comfortable coming to the teacher for help, recognizing but not crowding the student, encouraging student acceptance among their peers and within the school, serving as a model for proper speech. It is very important that teachers and adults alike serve as models for students, especially if they have a speech impediment. Placing students properly and effectively in the classroom, usually towards the front of the classroom, is most helpful. Positive communication environments which foster communication between the student and the teacher, as well as between different students. Providing students with additional assistance or time, and educating themselves in the disorder so they know how to help the student. So now you know all you need to know about speech disorders. Some of you may be asking about how these individuals communicate or how they go about their lives. The inability to communicate can be a large determination in a person's life. Speech is our main way to communicate and plays a huge role in our everyday life. However, in this situation, communication is not broken. It is very important to keep an open mind and work with these students to help them live as normal life as possible.